All aboard your tech and games caboose. We have some Fitbit news with 4 new wearables, as well as some PlayStation 4 console firmware updates for some remote play on iOS, and then a bunch of PS4 games from the China Hero project. And let's go over all of that, starting with Fitbit. So what is new? So the first new wearable is actually a smartwatch. This is the Versa Lite. And this is pretty good version. It's about $40 cheaper than the other versions. We'll go over pricing too, but basically you'll get your 4 days of battery life. You'll get to do some swim proof wear, heart rate trackers, obviously, some different music apps and stuff. So basically we're seeing the Versa smartwatch for $160 versus the $200 the Versa with a little bit more functionality. And let's compare these right now. So you're still going to get sleeping tracking, 24/7 heart rate monitor, 4 days of battery, 15 exercises, 15 plus exercise modes, apps and clock faces, so you're still getting some smartwatch stuff going on. And then you're going to basically drop from the light version to the regular version, floors climbed, as well as swim lap tracking and storing some of your play music. So normally you can store 300 plus songs, as well as access Pandora. We'll have to see how the apps and stuff, what gets cut, but that is looking like it won't be there. And then on-screen workouts is also going to be removed for the $40 savings, but it's still a smartwatch, fitness tracker, and everything all rolled into one for $160, a little bit cheaper. So pretty cool there. And then the other smart fitness watch this is more a fitness tracker, and there's 2 versions, the Fitbit Inspire and then the HR version with heart rating. So this is $100 for the heart rate version, and let's check out the other couple versions. You'll get sleep tracking and different reminders, calorie burning, and all of the different fitness stuff that you love. But the 2 different versions are $70 for the regular Inspire and then $30 more for the HR. And the differences between the two is sleep tracking. So this light and deep part of the sleep tracking, so you're going to get a little bit less functionality on the sleep tracking, but you'll still get sleep tracking. And then guided breathing sessions is removed from the cheaper model, as well as a bunch of the different swim tracking and some of the exercise modes, as well as what else do we have missing? So basically just a bunch of the different modes are being removed from a little bit cheaper version, but these are both pretty good fitness trackers. You might as well go for the extra $30, get the heart rate monitor as well as the extra sleep insight. So those are both pretty big upselling points. And then for the 4th and final is the Fitbit Ace 2. So this is for kids. You're going to get a little vibrant color wristband as well as a little bit of a bumper, so kids can play around with it a little bit more and not damage the screen too much. And this one you will be getting 5 days of battery life with. This is also swim proof now from the earlier Ace one, I don't think was swim proof, as well as activity and sleep tracking. And this is going to be coming in at, I want to say $70 as well. So comparing this to the HR monitor, you won't be able to see the calories burned, as well as you'll still get sleep tracking. You'll be able to tell if your kid's being able to sleep or not, if they're getting a full night's rest, but you won't get to see the light and deep and REM stages, some of the extra insights. And then you're gonna lose out on the female health tracking, as well as some smart auto exercising recognition and a bunch of the other activity-based stuff. So a bunch of different things from that. And then when they're all coming out, the Versa Lite is coming out in March 2019. You will be able to shop for it soon. The Inspires you can pre-order now, and I think it said shipping in 1 to 2 weeks or something on this Fitbit site. And then the Fitbit Ace is coming in summer 2019, so you have to wait a little while for this. And then the Fitbit Ace one also has parental controls that you can link up to your Fitbit online account, and you can track your kids' stats, so it's easier to monitor. So pretty cool there. And a couple other mentions for Fitbit. The app, they're getting a major redesign if you've used it in the past, so it's going to be easier to understand is what they're hoping for with some new design changes, as well as they're adding another tab at the top, it looks like, for Fitbit Focus, which will give you some main points that you want to check out and check out at the top of the dashboard. So that looks like it's coming soon. And then they're also doing a rewards beta program to test and new ways to motivate users who are actually wearing them. So you'll get different reward bonuses for doing activities like steps, sleep, and active minutes. And then rewards can be discounts on Fitbit products, as well as Adidas and some other companies that they're partnering with. So pretty cool there, and a bunch of cool smartwatches. And we have Lulu saying, but can the smartwatch tell me how smart I am? Not yet, but Fitbit version 2 will probably do that. Who knows? And next up, we have some game news. So the PlayStation 4 is getting a firmware update 6.5. And why is this cool? Because it is enabling a cool feature, which is remote play on iOS devices. So you can now PS4 remote play and connect to your PS4. So here is it from the App Store, and you'll be able to get on-screen controls and actually be able to play with your iPhone or iPad. You just download this app on the App Store and for iOS devices. And also a quick little mention, you can get a DualShock 4 controller working apparently from Nitro Wolf mentions how you do this. There's a little bit of a workaround, is to sign in on your iOS on a secondary account, use remote play, and then push the PS button on your remote. It'll sign in on your primary or whichever, and you can use the DS controller. So if that helps you to get the controller working, other than that, you'll have to Google and do some YouTubes to see if you can figure that out. But iOS will probably update it and make it more easy to actually work. So there is that as well. And then another quick little feature, there's also Android. We'll talk about that in a second, but other features are you can choose 720p when you broadcast to Nico Nico Live, which is available in certain countries, as well as you can change some button assignments for the enter and select settings. So also another mention, cool from, we get this from Fallen Angel, I believe, that is on Android, and this is only for Sony Xperia phones though, sadly. So not quite any Android phone, but if you have a Sony Xperia phone, then you can do this, and DualShock is already enabled, so you won't have to do any extra work steps for that. But Sony Xperia phones will have fun playing some PS4 games, some casual stuff on your couch or not in your living room, so cool there. And then a little bit more PlayStation news. A bunch of games were revealed by Sony from China Hero Project. So this is adding a bunch of different games, some trailers, a couple new games, and some things we've already seen a little bit. But the first game, AI Limit, is a hardcore role-playing game, and we have a little bit of a trailer. We'll go over just a trailer or two, but some RPG-ness going on and some good action, it looks like. And well, action by just walking through a little bit, but here's some combat and stuff going on too. So pretty brutal explosions going on. And quickly, there's a bunch of games, so here's some screenshots. And then the next game is Ran Lost Islands, and this is established on April 10. This is some of the game company information, and this is a large-scale multiplayer online competitive game. So we get a little bit of arrows and some in the past history fights and stuff going on, some bombs, some ships, some samurai fights and everything going on. Here's some, not samurais, but here we go, some samurai style armor. Pretty cool from Lost Islands. Here's some screenshots. The next game is Convaleria, which is, we have a little screenshot here. It's a little bit of an FPS shooter style game. Looks pretty interesting. There's a bunch of trailers we'll link in a second to all these games. But then next we get In a Nightmare, which looks like a little bit of a horror mystery, mind-bending game a little bit. And here's a couple screenshots. Next up we have Fist, which is a bunny action game. So this is kind of like a run through and blow stuff up and destroy stuff with a bunny fighting monster character. He's not too much of a monster, he's just a very large rabbit and with big fluffy ears apparently. Next up we have Anno Mutationem, which is a little bit of a pixely style game, not too much, but a little bit of action going on and robots and quite a bit of fighting and stuff for this as well. And it looks like some futuristic Japan easy city style fighting game, so pretty cool there. And as well as a Eviction, which is Evotinction, which is basically a stealth and a little bit of a mystery-ish game, it seems a little bit too. So here's a couple screenshots for that. And then all the trailers, if you want to check out, there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch more Hardcore Mecha, Immortal Legacy, and a ton more from Twin Infinite. We'll link down below for all these different reveals, some new, and some coming out in actual March. 2 of the games it looks like was mentioned coming out in March. So Immortal Legacy in March, so this month. So a lot of cool PS4 games for you. Lulu saying, so I use my remote to use my remote to use my remote to use my remote. Basically, yes. Very funny. And we'll have another show at 1 p.m. Pacific with some more tech and game news. So for that, we will be signing out. Pew, 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 pew.